Hey, and welcome back. WNBA season just started last week, and I'm here with you today to create a spreadsheet to analyze the most profitable prop bets. So as usual, if you want to just get a link to the finished sheet, drop a comment down below and I'll hook you up. But without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to rename this first sheet data, and we need to import our data to analyze. Now, if you watched the video on MLB, you'll know there was a decent wait time when you changed players or teams, and that was because we were sending multiple import HTML requests, like 20 requests all at once. So to remedy that for NBA, I've set up my own table using a little Python code to calculate the averages and still accounting for the outlier values like we used in the last video. So you're going to get that at http://bookie.com/tables/WNBA.html. We're going to specify this as a table, and it is the first table on the page. We're going to get this pop-up to say allow access for importing HTML. Just click allow. And there we go. We've got all our players. And I'm going to continue to update this every day after a game for the whole season. So if you actually go to this in a web browser, you'll see the last time that it was updated. So you can be rest assured that it is up to date. So now that we have our data in, let's create a new sheet, and we're going to call this props. And we're going to make drop-down boxes for the team. So I'm going to do this on B2. I'm going to say data validation, add rule, drop down from range, click this box here, and we can go over to our data tab to select our range. I'm going to click the whole C column, and we'll control click team so that team is not included. Hit OK. Scroll down, and I'm going to choose under advanced options the arrow display style. And let's go back to our prop sheet, and we can see, boom, there's all our teams. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 empty spaces in between. So we're going to put that on B16. Now we need to populate the team roster, and we're going to do that using the filter function. We are going to filter the B column, and condition is that C column equals, go back to our props, B2, whatever our drop-down team selected was. And there we go. And we're going to do that same thing for the other team. I'm just going to copy that and paste it here. But instead of B2, we're going to say B16. And boom, I'm going to just make these guys bold so the team stands out a little bit more, and resize the column there so they all fit. So now I'm going to fill out the column headers. So we're going to be doing 3-point, we're going to be doing rebounds and assists. So we need a 3-point line. I'm going to put the average in here as well. Under, over, under odds, over odds. And we're going to hide some of these final columns when we finish the sheet so it won't be so messy looking. But we're just going to bold that, copy that, leave a cell of space here, and paste. We can say this is rebound line. Leave another cell, and we're going to say this is assist line. I also want to select all these columns, and we're going to right click, resize columns, and I'm going to change it to 65 to give a bit more space there. And I might just bring these guys in a little bit. But like I said, we're going to hide some of that here shortly. So now we need to create a drop down for the actual line. So we're going to select C3 here. Data validation, add rule, and drop down. So it's already selected for us. We're going to add another item. We're going to keep adding another item, and we are going to keep adding another item, and we're going to fill all these in with whatever the possible line value could be. So 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. I'm not going to make you sit through all of it, but when you're done, just hit this done button down here. Alrighty, now that we have our line box there, we're going to fill in the average. So the average is going to be equals if error, and we're doing an if error so that way if there's not a player listed anywhere in their roster, so like if down here, if another team doesn't have a 12th player, it'll just display blank. So our sheet will look less messy this way. So if error v lookup that player, and we're going to look them up in the range B to G, and we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6th index, because it's the 3 points. Say 0, and we're going to do comma, and then 2 quotes. So that'll be the end of the if error statement there. And we're going to do that same thing. Oh, actually, oops. I want to make sure that we lock B and G here. And we're going to do the same thing over here for the rebounds. If error, VLOOKUP that player. And since this is the rebounds, we need to look up at index 1, 2, 3, 4. And once again, lock B and G here. And for the assists, if error, VLOOKUP. And our range. And the search key is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Now we can just drag these guys all the way down. There we go. Boom. And boom. And I also want to include the games played for all the players, because this is a rookie year for a lot of players, and so we want to decide whether or not we're going to bet given the sample size of games that we have to work with. So to do that, I'm going to go to A3 here, and I'm going to say VLOOKUP. Pick our player, go to our range, and we're going to select B through D. And this is the 1, 2, 3rd column. So we put a 3, put a 0, and I want to make sure that I put a $sign in front of B and D here. And we can just drag that all the way down. And we can just delete these two since there's not a player there. Now, let's create a new sheet called Poisson and do our old friend, the Poisson distribution. And I want to do this in the same cells that our players are in. It's going to make it a little bit easier. So we want to do our heading line on B2, and we want. Okay, so we're gonna start at B2, and we're gonna just follow with me here. So we want to do 3 point. And we want to say 0, 1, 2, 3. And then we could drag this. I'm just going to do 5 for the 3-pointers. Then we're going to leave a block of space there, and we're going to say rebound 0, 1, 2, 3. Then we could drag this. Select and drag. And I want to do like 20 for the rebounds here, but we need to insert more columns. Oh, 2 more. Alrighty, and then we'll just select all those, copy and paste it for the assist. Need 1 more column there. Actually, I need 2 more. So assists, and then paste. Beautiful. So now we are going to say equals Poisson dist. Select our column there for the X. Our mean is going to be, boop, right there. And we are going to say true for cumulative. Now we want to make sure that we're locking the D here for D3, where we're referencing our average, and then we want to lock the number here, where we're referencing the X value. And then we can just drag that guy over, and we could drag him down, but we want to see, so we want to leave 12 spaces for players, because the for all the teams, at most they have 12 players on their roster. Some have 10 or 11. And then we want to leave two things of space here, 2 cells of space, and then do another 12. So let's drag this down 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're gonna we could just drag it all the way down here. Now that we know that those 2 are not being used, we could delete that and drag this down for another 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think. Right? Nope. Add 1 extra. All right. And then we could also select all these real quick, turn them into percents. Beautiful. And we want to do the same thing for rebounds. I'm not going to make you sit through all of that. I'll just check back with you when I'm done. Alrighty, and we're done. So now, to calculate the chance of going under, we're going to use nested if statements to check the set line if that's less than 1, 2, or 3, and so on. So if it is, then we'll return the correct percentage from the distribution. So we're going to say if this is less than 1, then we're going to return that. If C3 is less than 2, we return this. If C3 is less than 3, we'll return this. So we're doing it this way because we're using a cumulative Poisson distribution, which means that for 2, for example, we see 99.09%. That is the chances that that player score 2 or less 3-pointers. In the previous sheets that we've done, we have used a non-cumulative Poisson distribution, which meant that under 2, it would be the chances of them scoring exactly 2. So that's important to keep in mind. And it is also important to keep in mind that once we get done actually doing these if statements here, that we lock the references, and we'll do that in just a second here. Less than 5. C3 is less than 6. Well, I guess we don't have to say less than 6. We can just say, because we don't have a higher value, we can just say boom. And put a bunch of end parentheses there. Now we want to lock the letter here for C3, and then we want to lock the letter here for the Poisson distribution. So that way when we drag down, all the columns will stay where they're at, but the number will change. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and copy the line value here so we can fill out the rest of these. And we'll just paste those guys there, and it looks like actually I have this in the wrong column, so we need to scooch this guy over to the average there. Oops. And we can just go ahead and drag down the under percentage, and that'll fill out nicely. Now for the over, it is as simple as equals 1 minus the under. Beautiful. Now to get our decimal odds, we're going to say equals if error. We're going to say 1 divided by the percentage. And we can have that fill it all out there. I'm going to delete these guys real quick. We don't need that. And we're going to do the same thing for the over odds if error, 1 divided by the over percentage. And we'll just paste that in there. And we also want to select all these, and we want to go to this tool up here to remove some decimal places. So we only want 2 decimal points for the decimal odds. And we can also go ahead and add American odds here if you'd like. I'm going to just insert a couple columns to the right here. So we can say, maybe this is American under and American over. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to say if error, if, so we're on the under here, so we want to click this guy. If that is greater than or equal to 2, and we're going to say that minus 1 times 100. Otherwise, we're going to say negative 100 divided by that minus 1, and that's it. And we want to drag that guy all the way down as well. And we're going to do that for the over here. Actually, we should be able to just, yep, there we go. And we also want to select all these just like we did the decimal odds, and we want to do that so we don't have any decimal places. American odds don't have decimal places. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out the rest of the sheet here, and I'll see you back in a second. Alrighty, that took a while. So as you can see, I have completed the sheet here. If we take a look at, maybe we change the rebound line here. You can see stuff updates. I would just add alternating colors if I was you to make this a little bit more readable. Do something like that. I've also, if you notice, I've hidden the columns for average, for the decimal odds, for each particular stat, just to make this a little bit more compact. If you use decimal odds, just hide the American ones. But there you have it, y'all. See you in the next one.